So Lab Rats Season 2. When you look back at that first episode of Season 1, what do you see?
I see baby Kelly. That is the first thing I see. I just think about how much we have changed since season 1, and it has been a drastic change, honestly. Like, I remember when we first shot that pilot episode. It was on a different stage. It was like 2 years ago, and I think, how did we get here? And now our show is the #1 show on XD. We have all grown so much. We've all grown together. We've grown as a family. So it's just really cool to look back and be like, wow, that's where it all started.
What have you learned over the course of the last 2 years about, filming, Hollywood, all of that?
I've learned so much being on this set. I have learned a lot about, directing and things like that, because that's something that I've kind of taken an interest in and maybe I would want to do later in my life. And just being around that every day, you just kind of get used to it and adapt to the different things that are going on. I've learned a lot just about memorization too. I've always been pretty good at memorizing my lines, but when you're doing it every day, it's just, you don't even think about it anymore, and it just comes really naturally. So it's been so great. I've learned so many different things, and I mean, I learned something new from him every day because he's like the smartest person in the world, but it's just been really great.
I remember talking to Selena Gomez after the first season of Wizards of Waverly Place, and I asked her the same question, and she said, I learned how to speak my mind, because she was afraid the first season to say anything.
Definitely.
And then you kind of get into this thing where you're like, okay, I can say what I want to say.
Exactly, because we've all become so close, the cast and the crew, and especially with all the writers and our director and our producers, that she's definitely right in that sense, where at first I was kind of like, okay, like, I'm going to do everything that I'm told, I'm just going to follow directions. And especially second season 2, you kind of have more of your own voice, and you're able to suggest things for an episode or suggest a line for my character. I feel more freedom, and it's really cool. So,
what can we expect from your character for season 2?
Lots of new things, actually. Bree, first season, she was very awkward because she's lived in this lab her entire life, and now she's out in the real world trying to adjust to everything. So second season, she's been in school for a little while. She's learned to live with it along with her brothers. She's gained a few new friends, actually, which is something that she really wanted first season, so I'm glad to see that for her. There's a character that comes back who was in first season for a couple episodes. Her name's Caitlin, and she becomes kind of Bree's closest friend. She actually has a few crushes this season. There's one guy who's in a couple episodes. He's kind of like this really artistic guy who has this artist's view on everything, and Bree's like his muse for everything. So there's no serious relationships or anything. It's just like little crushes here and there. So